Tesla will win again. I mean, they've already been winning with the EVs since 2019, 2020, now with their FSD. But the next thing, which is the bots, how everyone's talking about how Tesla's behind. No, no. Y'all are underestimating it. All thanks to Ashley Vance here with his little thread here. I think it was very interesting, and I'm pretty sure you guys have read it. Other YouTubers did cover this, but I do want to go over this because there's a lot of interesting things, and I do have some thoughts that I want to implement. However, it's very interesting, and again, it does solidify the reason why I'm going all in into Tesla stock. Now, this is the one level above that, which is the bots, and the bots was another reason why I went all in Tesla stock. But this proves my point why Tesla is a very long-term investment, and the longer you hold this thing, oh boy, it's gonna get really nutty. So let's get down to it. Smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and let's flip and go. So Ashley Vance, I'm not allowed to say who said this, but someone with very deep knowledge of AI and modern factories says Tesla has a massive edge on bridge between AI and physical world. And as we know today, Tesla, they have the most data when it comes to real world data, like for AI stuff. You have over 6 million vehicles on the road collecting data day in and day out. And this is important because no other company has this type of data. If they want to have this type of data, they're going to have, at this point, trillions, invest in trillions to get this data. It's crazy. And I think when full self-driving does get solved, Tesla's data is going to be the number one reason why it gets solved generally around the world, not being geofenced. I think that's very important. And, you know, whoever this very special someone is who has very deep knowledge of AI and modern factories says that Tesla has a massive edge on the bridge between AI and the physical world. They're not lying. They do. And even NVIDIA, though I would probably put them in number 2, don't even have real world data. I mean, it's insane. How insane? Check it out. Shout out to a VK here saying that my wife, who vouched that she would never ever activate FSD, is now using FSD 12.5.3 for more than 90% of all her drives. That's crazy. No amount of graphs or data can capture the success of FSD when it successfully passes a non-tech spouse approval test by Tesla. That's insane. And he's referring to this chart over here where it shows miles to critical disengagement multiplier and pretty much saying how safe this thing has gotten. Number one, I mean, look at this. V12.5.1.3 is 14 times, around 14 times better overall and 4 times safer than 12.3.6, which is interesting because these versions were just a few months apart max. So you can see the rate of improvement of this. It's absolutely insane. And Elon replies to VK saying, this is a good test for whether FSD is achieving escape velocity. I mean, when you have this type of data, when you have this type of technology, and when you compare it to Waymo and all the other guys who are trying to figure out full self-driving and robotaxis, you just can't compete. Robotaxi is coming out in 4, 5, 6 weeks, unveiling it, and it's just... This thing the FSD is just so far ahead. I'm banging on this table. I'm talking to everyone about this, but everyone is still sleeping on this. Which is fine because, hey, stock still, not financial advice, but the stock still, I like to accumulate a little bit more. Even though I have stopped buying, I am preparing to deploy some cash in the next correction, and I'll be making a video about that soon. But nonetheless, that's that. Let's continue what Ashley Vance has to say here. This person thinks the others building humanoid robots don't have a great first customer. Tesla can test on its own factories first before it sends the robots out to customers. The AI builders, meanwhile, don't have factories, and that's such a competitive edge when it comes to testing out these bots. And here's the thing, guys. Here's the crazy part. Yeah, these are Tesla bots, 100%. They're going to be working in Tesla factories for sure. You know, moving boxes around slowly here and there. For sure, learning how to do more advanced stuff, like how to paint a car, right? How to move the tires in, how to build this part. But here's the part where there's no limit. They can be assigned to Neuralink. They can be assigned to X. They can be assigned to SpaceX, Boring Company, and other Elon's companies that they want, right? So it's not just limited to Tesla's factory, even though there's a lot of things that they can learn in that factory. But now you got all these other companies while doing different things. They can learn how to do things there as well. Other humanoid robot companies that are building these robots or whatever, where are they going to train them? How are they going to train them? With what real world production line are they going to train them? So this is a big lead that Tesla already has, that no one is looking into this. I mean, it's crazy how early we are, right? I mean, we're going to look back at this very video, I'm going to say in like 5 years, even longer, the better. We're going to look back and say, whoa, we were talking about all these things and nobody really cared. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane. That's how early that we are. So that's a very interesting point, and obviously a really good point that's showing that Tesla has this edge that it can do all of these testings with the bots than other companies that they cannot. The other interesting is that Tesla does have a competitive edge because of the Elon Musk ecosystem. We'll get to that in a bit as well. Moving on to the third line. This person thinks people don't count Musk companies individually as among the big tech empire, but that collectively they have something the other big tech players can't match. Facts, absolutely facts. Here's the thing, guys. The first big customer that's going to buy a lot of robots or bots is going to be SpaceX. Whether it's 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 bots, whatever it is, they're going to be buying the first customer. They'll be the first one to buy. Now, once this thing proves itself and they can see what it can do, other companies like Dell, I don't know, well, Amazon already has robots, but other companies will want to get these robots in their factories. Later on down the line, I don't know, I'm thinking about a decade down the line, we can probably sell them to customers. Maybe it's even sooner. I don't know. I'm not. The bots is so hard to comprehend. It really is. I'm more in it for the full self-driving, but hey, the robots look like they can bring the stock and the valuation even higher of Tesla, that's for sure. But that's the advantage of the bots, man. For Tesla, you got all these other companies that they can just buy off Tesla and just benefit, which is insane. Moving on. This person says, I think that will be an extremely important when the physical part of AI starts to kick in. Being able to bridge the AI into the physical world will be extremely massive. I think none of the other companies will be able to follow, and they can't. With what data? The only way they can do this, and the amount of data that Tesla has, the only way that these companies can do this is to either deploy and invest billions upon billions upon billions to get this real world data, or make a licensing deal with Tesla to get some of the real world data. I don't think Tesla's going to give out all of it for free, because if Tesla does that, then what's with all that investment? I don't think they'll do that. No way, Jose. So I think there will be a licensing deal even with the bot. Maybe even a leasing deal. And I think that's the initial plan. I don't know, selling the thing at 10,000 or 20,000 would be even a good idea. I think leasing it would be much better. But I don't know, we'll talk about that once we talk about that. I care more about the full self-driving at the moment. But these bots, whoever this person is who has deep info in AI and robotics and factories, is saying that Tesla is, look at NVIDIA, buying NVIDIA in 2019, 2018, now looking at a 20x. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's what's going to happen to Tesla. I am that's saying that's what's going to happen to Tesla as soon as the market realizes this, but not financial advice. Moving on. He says that people have tendency to wave away the complexity of how difficult it is to build the complex factories and warehouses Tesla already has built in place. Facts, extremely hard to build these factories, especially how vertically integrated that they are. They're not like traditional ICE companies. It's much harder to make an EV than an actual ICE car, which is why all these ICE companies, these legacy auto companies, they can't, and they lose a whole bunch of money because it's not easy. Prototypes are easy, production is hard, right? Moving on. He says that I am still fairly long Elon empire companies. And Ashley here says that I've written about Elon's universe of companies for a long time, but had perhaps underestimated what this person was getting at. We have a ton of robotics AI startups now. I don't know. Will remain to be seen how much of an advantage having an actual factories is. Just looking at it, I think having these factories is a big advantage because, hey, you made the bot. You can go straight to this production line or, do these simple tasks to learn so you can go to that production line. All these other AI companies or all these other robotics companies, where are they going to go to train, right? So I think it's a big, big advantage. I think he's downplaying it a little bit, but nonetheless, moving on. But this felt like an interesting data point to share from someone who has lived across both worlds at a very high level. It is super unique that Musk companies can drag people from Tesla, for example, to stand up GPU data center for Grok in record time too. Now again, there's a big controversy over this. Elon taking one guy and putting to another companies. That's not it. He only does that if they want to leave. And hey, if you want to leave to go for ChatGPT, we have this Grok thing if you want to go here. And this way, you give them a good package. They'll say, okay, you know what? I'll just be in the Elon Musk ecosystem. At the end, it'll go to Grok and it'll benefit back Tesla because It's an Elon Musk ecosystem, right? Moving on. I guess at GE, and I think GE means General Electric, if I'm not mistaken, is a historical comparison as a conglomerate that stretched across major industries. Musk Co. seems to benefit from keeping the company separate and more nimble, but having a common CEO who can put people wherever he wants, whenever. Is there a real historical equivalent here? Now, here's the thing. If you're just comparing this to GE, it's a whole different beast. Tesla's a whole different beast. GE, yeah, they were very big back in the day. They were doing the ACs and General Electric stuff. But we're talking about things that are 10, 20, 30 years in the future at a mass scale. Things that other companies can't acquire easily, like real world data. Tesla has trillions. I mean, if you add it up with 6 million vehicles on the road, and with all the data, it's in the trillions. And you could call that investments. All these vehicles are giving back the data and stuff. And the amount of data that they're collecting is absolutely flippin' insane. And this is something that nobody has or even can do. So, comparing this to GE, it's like comparing NVIDIA to Intel. I mean, even Intel is much a better comparison than GE if you compare to Tesla. You know what I mean? So I don't know what he meant by these last 2 points. I think it was a bad example to compare to GE. But nonetheless, it's an interesting thread and one that I think is worth going over and sharing it. I really want to know who this one person is. If you guys know who it is, please comment down below. But let's see who this person is. It looks pretty interesting. But that's about the bot. That's about the robots. I'm in it for the full self-driving, and I was in an interview or in a podcast with Haley. Shout out to her. You guys can check the video. I think it was right here or there, wherever it is on the screen. I'm very tired, guys. You guys can check it out on why I'm 100% all in on Tesla stock. I'm so confident, and you guys will see why. And it's none of these robot stuff. These robot stuff are just next level. So check it out. You'll all be disappointed. Subscribe, guys, and I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.